some of these products that are marketed specifically to Black girls contain some of the worst ingredients I have ever seen. And I think it should be outlawed. Like you said, the fragrances, the endocrine disruptors, these harsh detergents, some formaldehyde releasers. Formaldehyde's a human carcinogen. What place does it have in a beauty and personal care product? It doesn't. It needs to be removed. There needs to be better regulations and better protection for vulnerable populations.
I was doing some research and I looked at Harvard Health, and it said 50% of products advertised to Black women contain endocrine disruptors, which are those disruptors that are going to impact their hormones, increase their chance of things like cancer, infertility, etc., compared to roughly 7% that are advertised to white women. And these endocrine disruptors can impact fertility and increase their chance of getting cancer.
Your baby ugly, fam. Somebody got to keep it real with you, right?
Doors are nothing to tell people to move their curry. Water's there.
Y'all come on here and I keep seeing everybody saying blog Instagram, blog Facebook, and blog them other social media platforms that's on TikTok now, since TikTok came back and magically gotten sponsored pages with those actual social media platforms, right? No one is telling y'all the real reason why. They literally come up with the dumbest excuse to say the reason why they're supporting y'all to do this. So before the little quote unquote ban happened, for the few hours it did happen, right? I got a message to integrate my TikTok with my Facebook before it got banned. And not only that, TikTok made updates right before it got banned. So if Facebook and Instagram and stuff didn't even have their own TikTok page, and now they do, that clearly means they integrated. They came up with a plan to work together. And at this point, everybody's just following the leader because nobody doing their own research, bro. I'll never understand it. Like I just made that video on showing how to way everybody becoming followers instead of trying to be a leader while they're fighting with each other so we can make our move forward. They literally just told y'all to download Lemonade and y'all did it anyways. Y'all went and downloaded the app that's not even in English. And now y'all just blocking people just because other people tell you to block them. Bro, you asleep. Please wake up, man. I'm here for you. Check out my videos because I'm a truther. I'm going to tell you the truth even if you don't like it, but not everybody else. Anyways, like I said, wake up and stop following everybody and be God.
So along with a lot of the voters that I've talked about, this is a group that I have not highlighted. I pretty much actually forgot about them. I'm just wondering, with everything that was passed at this moment in time, where specifically is this group, right? Because it's been stated that President Donald Trump has signed into law a ban on the use of LGBTQI plus flags in federal buildings and United States embassies, on top of the fact that he specifically stated that there are only two genders. I'm trying to figure out, trying to fathom, where are all of the people of this community that specifically voted for Trump, and what specifically are their feelings on all of these anti-LGBTQI plus types of things taking place by way of this administration, the Trump administration, the administration that they decided to vote directly on. I would love to hear their opinions. I would love to hear it, because I could have sworn that the whole thing was to be free, to not be judged, to not be encased, to not be misbranded, prejudged, or mislabeled. But obviously now, with the incoming administration, there's going to be a lot of that going on, and a lot of the changes and things that people did during the Biden administration are pretty much going to go to the wayside with this incoming administration. Some crazy work out here when I can just simply mind my business. And I happen upon a Asian individual that decided that they wanted to somehow put people on notice, saying like, oh, hey, black people really complain about doing this. That's some diabolical work. When we know historically how this has been used, right? How this has affected black Americans. We yet again got somebody who was Asian. You can clearly go look up his profile. At certain times, I would normally just sit up there and just block stuff. Not this time. We're not going to sit up there and do it. So if anybody want to look up Arthur Quan Lee or whatever, if you want to look him up, you are more than free to look him up. He does art and all that great stuff. But for whatever reason, during this timeline, I guess since Trump is in office, he decided that he wanted to let his truth fully fly and let people know how it is that he feels about the history of black people in the United States. You know, it's pretty funny that a lot of people want to roll up and start saying things that they don't need to state, right? Make posts that they don't need to post. And specifically, it's usually towards black Americans. For some type of odd reason, black Americans are always on people's mind. And usually when we are on their minds, it's in a disrespectful way. It's not anything of value. It's not to respect. It's not to uplift. It's not to just try to push forward. It's always to try to minimize, to disrespect, devalue, and to try to talk about us in a negative light, as if to say that we are just lazy and just complainers, as if we don't add or try to work for anything. And this is the narrative, the loose narrative that they like to try to use. So now we got this. And this is a part of their history, right? You got the Japanese and the Koreans and the Japanese, right? You got this Asian history sitting right here, right? Now, wouldn't it be very disrespectful to try to implement the exact same thing, saying that, oh, and this is your history. This is what you claimed about. You act like this was so difficult. You act like this was so bad and yada, yada, yada. Right? Wouldn't that be very disrespectful to say? It would, wouldn't it? But yet, here we are. Here we are where you have one group that wants to always talk about black Americans. But yet, this is their history, right? No matter what transpires, we never pull up to the scene as black Americans to disrespect these folks. We just don't do it, right? Because that's, in a sense, not within us. But slowly but surely, what's going to start to happen over time is that black Americans are going to start to implement the exact same energies that people want to use on us. We're going to reflect that energy right back. In the moment in time that we do, a lot of people out there are going to say, oh no, this is wrong. We shouldn't do that. Two wrongs don't make a right. And if everybody is blind, and, they want to, bring up all these, types of words, statements, but nobody wants to point out the fact that, hey, we're not the ones doing this. We're not the ones focusing on other people's history and trying to, beat them down because of it. We're not trying to mention it in some type of light, trying to blame them or saying that, oh, they're lazy, they just didn't want to work for it. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that disrespect. But seemingly, we always receive it. And again, what inevitably happens is that people will come out of the blue and decide to try to come in between the whole thing and tell black people, hey, you need to calm down. You got to stop, being so emotional and this, that. At certain points, people have rights to be emotional at certain points. This is one of those points. The crazy part about this is, no matter what the subject is, people want to focus in on certain things, right? So Strong and Courageous said this, and this is specifically more than likely pertaining to the very last part, which is my commentary of a video that I just put up for you guys today. They said, I wish people would stop talking about accountability because it's not coming off as genuine. I'm perceiving it as self-righteous. You hold everyone accountable, but who is holding you accountable? This is another worldly trend that will eventually go away. Just like the emotional intelligence thing, people have all these standards they don't live by themselves. Now, the funniest thing is, this is why I love when randoms come directly through and they want to give a critique of my opinion or my point of view, not understanding the totality of the channel or how long I've been here and how it is that I've made myself accountable for things that I had nothing to do with at all. But I throw my hat directly in there to again let people know that, hey, I'm not above you, I'm not below you, I'm right here on the same plane. I'm going to point this out to you so we can both see it because we're seeing it at the exact same level, right? That's taking accountability. That's making sure that not only am I seeing it, but other people are able to see it. So if everybody's able to see it, that then means that it's going to register to everybody that, hey, we have a problem here. We should work on this. We should try to fix it. But again, you give a critique, but you don't really give a solution to anything. You're just critiquing. And again, you said from your perspective, right? You're perceiving it as, right? So this is your theory. You don't really have any knowledge to go directly off of. So more than likely, you're going off of emotionally how you're digesting what it is that I stated versus actually paying attention to the fact that this young woman who did not have to be pregnant at all decided that she wanted to be with this rapper, knowing the fact of his history, how he's been with women, how he's carried himself directly out here. Again, my main thing that I've stated before is, hey, if it is completely shown that somebody is not beneficial and or good for you, you need not go directly for them. I'm not sure or for certain how that message didn't come through or directly to you and you decided to just pop off on this, oh, you're really trying to give all of this type of thing, but who's really sitting up there keeping you in check that you want to keep everybody else in check? I do my best to make sure to keep myself in check every single day, right? And by way of that, I broadcast that through a lot of the videos that I do, along with also giving my perspective. I give real world experiences that I have gone through, if I can, when it deals with certain or a lot of these topics directly out here. So people just understand and know that I'm not just talking from a place of, oh, this is just a theory that he has. And no, this is a part of, he's speaking from experience. He's speaking of actually doing it, of actually experiencing it, right? That's how you hold a type of accountability or show people that, hey, if you move a certain type of way, these certain things, X, Y, and Z are going to sit up there and happen. If you decide not to move a certain way, guess what? X, Y, and Z is going to happen. But again, this goes to show that no matter how I speak on this platform, no matter how I try to point out what realistically problems are, or how I'm trying to save other people from not being a quote unquote statistic, that somehow, some way, people don't want to focus on what the actual issue is. People would rather focus in on what you as a person is saying because they find that way more problematic than having more women out here being single mothers and those kids not having any type of fathers or positive role models directly in their lives. It's crazy out here. It's 100% crazy. The only thing that people should have got from this is that, hey, Seiji is looking for people to, be a type of nuclear, family, or at least a standard issue relationship that is healthy enough that will be beneficial to that child that is being brought into this world that did not ask to be brought here. But like I said, this is this person's perspective because this is what they are perceiving. Again, I'm not a genuine person, guys, by way of this person from their perceived thought process and how it is that they, I guess, maybe internalized what it is that I stated. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.